on YouTube. There we go. It's alive!
Give me a second. Because YouTube just pooped out. There it is. Wait, maybe not.
Okay. Why is it black? Why is it black?
Wow, bring color into it, don't you?
No, the screen is black. Like seriously, I guarantee you this is still showing on frickin' Twitch, but it's not showing up here.
Bear with me for a second.
Okay. Okay, it is working! It is working! I'm seeing it on YouTube. It's finally being a good child. It's being a good child. It claims it's being a good child. Yes, yes, it is working now. So not entirely sure what happened. No, don't head to Twitch. It's working just fine on YouTube. It's fine. I'll be able to see what worked with Twitch later. Wait, why do I have nothing but nutcracker ducks? This is weird. So basically, she brings this cat in from a storm and tries to tell me that she's going to adopt it after preventing me from getting a terrier, a little Yorkshire Terrier dog, as an emotional support animal, saying that her huskies will eat it. And I'm not about to let her do that, because one, her huskies will kill it if she keeps the cat, and two, she neglects those dogs enough. I don't want her fixating on a cat and getting something happy in her life, like a cat, at the expense of these poor giant dogs, which I sure as hell can't take care of. And her mother said she'd have to put them in the pound or put them down if she didn't take them in the first place. So, I very vindictively take Saren into my room that is closed off because I have ferrets in here and her dogs had already tried to... Like, I don't know what the fuck she was doing, but there were 3 separate times where she went into my room looking for something that she had no reason to be in my room for. Left the door partially open, and her huskies tried to kill my ferrets. Like, one of them lost a toe because the husky snapped it off through the cage bars. Was really pissed with her, so I have every reason to hate this woman at this point. My villain switch is fully on with her. Never met a nice cat, so I don't think I like cats. And then I realized this tiny little fluff ball likes my ferrets.
You met the right kitty.
I'm bewildered by this. Absolutely perflummoxed that this cat that is smaller than my ferrets is happy to meet them. Ferrets, when they play, they do this dance of war, freaky deaky, I'm on drugs kind of spaz attack. So I do a little test, because I don't know what the cat's going to do, and I put the cat in the ferret's cage. The cage has 2 different litter boxes, and within a few minutes, he uses the ferret's litter box. So I'm like, okay, you're potty trained, that's helpful. And he spends the next hour playing and rolling around with my ferrets as if he is a ferret. I'm just blown away by this, by the way. So I'm like, okay, I'll get you some kitten food in the morning, because I can't take you to a shelter till Monday, which is now 2 days away, including tonight. So it's because it's Friday night. So, unfortunately for me, my sweet, soft, timid little bastard proved to be a perfect ferret copycat that, unlike my ferrets, would actually curl up on my collarbone and sleep with me. So I became a cat owner. Husky bitch was not too pleased. Not too happy that I took the cat. She was pretty pissed with me. I could tell she had a bone to pick with me after that from then on. And shortly after that, she came bawling to me saying that one of her friends was going to end up on the street, needed a place to live, yada yada yada. Guy with a snake. I thought his snake was pretty cool, but he turned out to be an ass as well. And he had like $3,000 to $5,000 in savings. And when I asked him after he moved into the spare bedroom, because renting a 1-bedroom at the time was the same cost as renting a 3-bedroom, so we had just rented a 3-bedroom house. And he's like, no, I had like $3,000 in savings. I was not in a rush. I was still taking my time looking for an apartment. She said, why don't you come live with me and split the costs? It was all her idea. That's when I was on the warpath. Not just the villain switch, but the warpath with this woman. When it comes to moving out, they all refuse to help me, even though I furnished the living room, provided all of the cooking utensils, bowls, plates, pots, pans, supplied the furniture for the guest room that her snake friend had been living in. Mind you, I don't mind that he had a snake. I liked his snake a lot. I loved playing with his snake. Problem is
phrasing.
that I had purchased a third ferret, trying to see if it was one that I would keep or not, and the night that after a week trial I was going to take her back to the store and get my money back, because that's what you could do if they were not a good fit. The day that I was going to take her back to the pet store and get reimbursed for the money that I needed, by the way, he picks up his girlfriend from the bus stop from the city 2 hours south of us, brings her home, does the happy slappy, which we can hear very loudly through the walls in the house every time he does it, to the point where me and her boyfriend are giggling and calling him the happy slappy. Every time he does it, he's very obvious what he's doing. And we say, happy slappy, through the walls whenever he gets so loud that we can hear it over our TV audio. Hunter may remember me making fun of this guy for this.
A little bit.
He picked her up from the bus stop from Tucson, drove 2 hours to Tucson with her to look at apartments for her, supposedly, for his girlfriend, drove all the way back to the city, and then said he was going to put her on a bus to go home. Between him doing the happy slappy and driving down to Tucson to house shop, the ferret I was going to return sell disappeared. Either they thought it was a funny joke and stole that ferret and gave it to her as a present in Tucson, or he fed that fat little glutton to his snake. Because he was not happy with me for making a little bit of fun over the happy slappy and the fact that I was very openly upset with the husky dog bitch for the way that she mistreated her animals and lied to me about everything, including his situation. I wasn't nasty like a Karen or anything. I was just very much the same way I'm talking to you guys, being like, I'm not happy about this, is how I talked to them about it. I'm like, I'm not going to get angry because I don't have the energy for anger. I have a shit job. They promised me certain hours. They're not giving me certain hours to where I'm having to ration my food when I'm supposed to be working 60-hour weeks. Not okay. Another story. Long story short, I move out 2 weeks before the end of the date, and I had to beg them to help me get my biggest piece of furniture, which was a spare refrigerator, into the truck. Because you try living in a house with 4 women and one tiny ass fridge that's 10 years out of date. It does not work. So when my mom got rid of her old fridge shortly after kicking me out, I took it. Very nice big brick that was expensive as hell and had 3 times more space than most refrigerators do. Loved that thing. So I moved everything myself. No help from anybody. That means everything in the living room, kitchen, secondary room, my bedroom, all of it taken. And all I said was that, can you guys please clean up the house when I'm gone? Because there's 3 of you moving into one place and only 1 of me, and none of you have helped me with my property. That's all I'm asking of you. You know what they did? They collected all the trash in the house, put it on the front lawn, and dumped 3 pieces of furniture which they had requested I give them onto the front yard, breaking it. And then the housing company that rented us said thing stole my $1,200 safety deposit as the cost for the industrial-sized dumpster to take care of the trash left in the yard, the feces left in the house by her dogs, the feces left in the yard by her dogs, and the fact that they left giant bookshelf and a couple of other things in the front yard, broken and smashed, because it quote-unquote didn't fit in their place. I had her mother's phone number. I called irate when I found out that I was being charged an extra $300 on top of the $1,200 deposit I had lost. The mother knew what her daughter had been doing this entire time, because she, one, saw it the 2 times she visited, and second, I had to call her several times to say, can you force your daughter to take care of your dogs, because I'm at my wit's end and I want to slug her and I am not a violent person. So I literally said to her, either I go to small claims court and charge your daughter $2,000 of damages, plus emotional damages, plus the fees of the lawyer, or she ponies up this money right now, settles my tab, and erases my collector's debt. Needless to say, miss, I just moved. I don't have the money, even though I've got my boyfriend and friend living with me who have lots of money in savings. I said, oh, I know he's got about $5,000 in savings. I don't care how you do it. You're paying it in 3 days, or I swear to God, I'm taking you to court. She paid it, and I never talked to her again. I have never felt that much rage at someone for neglecting things as I have for that woman. And unfortunately, even though with the stopping, that reaches the 2-hour limit for the duck punishment and for the streams that are not too engrossing. And somehow we only got through 2 buildings worth of bad roommates. The worst roommate to rule them all, to the level of Sauron himself. That, my darlings, will probably take an hour or more. So if you want to hear that one, you gotta tell me next time. Not sure how many of you are observing the chat right now. Probably got a little tired of it. I'll try to go through and stitch the videos together for the different live streams. But that being said, Fulofos, Hunter, would you like to say bye-bye?
Adios.
So
I'm still around. I've just been silently lurking.
I ended up talking
Stay
a
around
lot
like
more
a
than I thought I
result.
would. And now everybody has seen the wild Australian hunter who I've been trying to get to visit us for the last 2 months because he makes Australian floofy even more fun. Yes, I have to do the bad boyfriends and the bad jobs at some point. People don't let me forget, because knowing my shitty memory, I will forget. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.
Holy shit, my mouth is so dry. I did not realize that was 2 full hours worth of story time. I thought at best the stories would take like 45 minutes.